All right, hey, welcome to your very first sketch. That's what it's called in Arduino when you write a new program. It's called a sketch, and that is evident by up here. Anyways, I wanted to take you through how we're going to make our LED blink. So our first program ever is just basically turning a light switch on and off. It's going to teach some fantastic foundational skills for you. So what you need to do is in your Arduino sketch, let's go ahead and we can actually delete these if we want to. If you want to write your notes up there, you can. I'm just deleting it for now. So the first thing that we need to use is what's called an integer. Now an integer is essentially we're assigning a word to a specific numerical value. Now integers can be changed in your sketch itself. You can actually write in the code for your integer to change its value. So you could have LED, but in your program, if a certain action happens, like maybe you turn a light switch on, it actually changes the value of the number, and then the program knows how to interpret things later on. In this case, we're going to be using what's called a constant integer. A constant integer is something that can't be changed. It's always going to be the same no matter what. So to do that, we're going to type in const for constant, and then space and int for integer. And then I want to name my first integer LED. And I have mine in caps, and it's very important that if you choose to type it in caps right now, you're going to have to use caps later on when you call back to the integer. If you type it in lowercase, you're going to have to type it in lowercase. That's an area that causes a lot of confusion and will actually make your sketch break before it can actually, well, before you can try it out. So we're doing constant integer LED is equal to 13. Right, so we're saying the phrase LED is equal to the numerical value 13. The reason for this is 13 is going to be the digital pin that we're connecting our LED to. Make sure we add our semicolon, and that's it. We've set up some initial instructions. Now we're going to go into void setup. Now when we're in void setup, you want to make sure you've clicked in between the curly brackets. So these guys right here, if I show you right there. So those curly brackets actually is how we chunk information together. So think of it this way. A computer's really dumb until you give it a set of inputs, right? So our Arduino controller has zero brain at all. We have to tell it what to do. And the best way we can tell it what to do is actually chunk information together. And when we chunk information together, it's going to provide a setup or a list for it to accomplish first, and then it can move on to the next. So in our void setup, we're going to use the phrase pin mode. So it's PIN with a capital M for mode. And then I'm going to do a start parentheses. Now all pin mode is it's just telling in the initial setup that we're wanting to activate a digital pin. So we have pin mode and then LED, comma. We're going to set this as output. Okay, and if you notice that I finished the parentheses and I added that semicolon, because I'm wanting the sketch to know I'm done with this. So all I'm saying here is that I'm activating my pins on my Arduino. I'm using pin 13 because I use the phrase LED, the integer, as a callback to the number here. And output, I'm saying that I want to set number 13 or pin 13 to send electricity out of it. Now that I have that, I'm going to click into the void loop, and this is where our sketch starts to work. All right, so I'm going to type in digital write. Okay, and I'm going to set it as integer is LED. And I want to turn it on, so I'm going to go high in all caps, and then semicolon. So digital write, telling it that it's going to write a specific value or an electronic value to it to 13, and high. High means on. Next, I'm going to type in delay. Delay is our time command. and it operates in milliseconds. So I want it to turn on for 1 second and then turn off for 1 second. So I do delay, and then I just type in 1000 because it operates in milliseconds. Go outside of the parentheses. I'm going to add my semicolon, and then I can go into my off command, which is going to be digital write LED low delay 1000. And then the program constantly loops back on itself. So let's write that out. Oops. Helps if I can type as well. There we go. Then again, the delay command of 1000. When I'm ready to check this sketch to make sure that it's working, I can click this verify. Oh, and you can see you might get this error here that says error compiling. Check if you have selected a board. I haven't selected my board, so I want to click that. And I want to click the first one, Arduino. Click OK. And then let's verify it again. Now, if it's successful, you'll get this nice green message. If it isn't successful, so I'm taking away my semicolon after low here, I'm going to run it, and you're going to see expected a semicolon before delay. And then down here, it actually starts telling you where you need to go to find it. So in function void loop, error expected semicolon before delay. So I can go here. Okay, well, I have a semicolon here. Oh, I don't have it here. Then I would add it and then verify it again to make sure it's all good. All right, once you've done this, then we just need to plug in the Arduino into the USB, give it about a minute for it to find stuff, and then you'll click this button here to upload it to the board, and then you can watch the LED do its magic.